Hey everybody, it's Lon.TV. We've got another ATSC 3 tuner to take a look at. This one is called the ZapperBox, and this is designed to tune the new ATSC 3 signals here in the United States, but it also works with ATSC 1 signals. And the best way to describe this one is as the minimally viable product. It does what it's supposed to do quite well, but there's a lot of features still not yet implemented. And we're going to take a look at this in just a second, but I do want to let you know, in the interest of full disclosure, this is on loan from ZapperBox. So when we're done with this, it goes back to them. All the opinions you're about to hear are my own. No one is paying for this review, nor has anyone reviewed or approved what you're about to see before it was uploaded. So let's get into it now and see what this ZapperBox is all about. Now, at the time I'm recording this video, there are two models of the ZapperBox available. There is a single tuner unit that costs $249 and a dual tuner unit at $279. The one they sent us is the dual tuner box, and right now that second tuner isn't utilized because there is a DVR functionality that is not yet implemented. When that functionality is implemented, the dual tuner box will allow you to record something while you watch something else live or record two things at once. But right now I can't test the dual tuner capabilities because there is nothing I can do with this box to tune in to two things at the same time. The box is designed pretty much to just connect to a TV at the moment. So although it has network connectivity, it doesn't have an app or anything else that you can use on a Roku, for example, to watch content from the box. So the only way you can watch content on this is through its HDMI port. So it's pretty limited. And I would say that if you are just looking for an ATSC 3 tuner and you've got a single television, this might be a good way to go. But for those of you looking to bring TV throughout your whole entire house, this is not going to do it for you unless you buy multiple units and place them with each television that you've got there. It's a pretty simple device from a hardware perspective. It looks like it's running Android. You'll see a few hints of that Android TV interface when you first boot it up, but it doesn't have any ability to install apps or even get to an Android interface. So when you plug this thing in, it boots right up to live television. It is super simple from that standpoint, kind of a single-purpose device that does just one thing. But it does have the YouTube app installed, so you can go into the menu here and jump out of live TV and go over to YouTube. But that is it from an app standpoint. It is live TV or YouTube, and that is it at the moment. Now, on the back of the box here, you've got your coax input for your antenna. You do need an external antenna. There is not one provided in the box. What I'm using, because I'm very far away from my broadcast tower, is this Televis DAP-BOS Mix, which is an excellent long-range antenna. It's been working great here at the house, and you can see my review of it to learn more. But it's been working well with my HDhomerun, and it's been working pretty well with the ZapperBox too. And we'll look more at its tuning capabilities in a few minutes here. This is the HDMI output you use to plug it into the television. This does support 4K HDR, but I don't believe any broadcaster is currently sending out a 4K signal. But if they ever do, this box will tune that, at least on the ATSC 3 channels. Now, you do have two network connections. You've got your Ethernet plug here, along with an antenna for Wi-Fi. An internet connection is not necessary to use this. So what you could do is update the firmware before you go out in your RV or something, and then just use the box without the internet connection. But you won't get your channel guide updated. You won't get any other firmware updates if they happen to come down while you're on your trip there. So the box definitely works better with the internet, but doesn't require it to be used. Although, again, the firmware will be changing quite a bit as the months progress here. Right here is your barrel connector for power. This uses only about 5 volts at 3 amps max, so it's pretty low powered. It will stay on all the time, so it will do its updates in the background even when you hit the power button. It will be warm to the touch, but it doesn't overheat. And it's very similar to some of the Android boxes I have looked at over the years. On the side here, you've got a micro SD card slot. This will be more useful when the DVR functionality becomes available, but even now, you do have the ability to play and pause live television. So if you get up to go to the bathroom, you can hit the pause button, and what it will do is buffer onto the SD card. And when you come back, you can hit play and then fast forward and rewind through the buffer that it recorded. If you have the card inserted on this, you can record a longer buffer. So there is some internal memory, but not much. So if you do want to use that play pause feature, definitely put a card in the slot. Alternatively, you can use a USB storage device in the USB 3 or USB 2 slot here, but you can only use one or the other. You can't use them simultaneously at the time I'm recording this video. And that is pretty much it for connectivity on the box. Very, very simple, and the simplicity extended to the setup process. When I got going, I just plugged it into the wall. I did a very brief little menu thing to get everything set up, and then it immediately pulled up the channel tuner to see what kind of channels it could pick up. And within about 5 minutes, I was watching live TV on this box, a mix of ATSC 1 and ATSC 3 content. Now, as I mentioned at the outset, it's got a very nice interface that boots right up to live TV when you turn it on. The guide, as you can see here, is also very simple, so you can scroll through what's on TV along with watching what you're currently watching while you're going through the list here. You will notice on a few of the channels that there's a little blue rainbow-looking icon. Those are the ATSC 3 channels. And if you are connected to the internet, you get a lot of useful information about the shows that are on, including some descriptive text about what you're watching. Now, the remote control that it comes with is very basic here, pretty lightweight plastic. It does have some limited universal capabilities here at the top, so you can program in your television's power button, your HDMI input switcher here, along with your volume control, and the rest of it here goes over to the ZapperBox. One thing I really liked about it is that it has a really nice old school channel flipping capability. So if you go up and down here on the remote, what it will let you do is very quickly go through your channels just by hitting up and down on it. I found that it's pretty quick at tuning between channels here as well, as you can see. So all in, you can have kind of an old school TV experience here just by hitting up and down on the remote. You can even type in numbers for specific channels here as well. Now, they also have the ability to filter out channels. So if you've got some that you just don't want to see, or if you wanted to only look at the ATSC 3 channels, you can go through the menu here and filter things down to something that works best for you. Now, if you're somebody that turns captioning on and off frequently, or maybe changing the active audio channel of the station you're watching, you can hit the zap button here and pull up a quick menu to get at that stuff. What I really like about this menu is that it has a really nice meter for your signal strength. So if you're trying to find the best placement for your antenna, you can pull this up and make those fine adjustments and have this update pretty much in real time as to the quality of the signal that you're currently working with. Now, I was able to pick up 45 channels here at my house using the ZapperBox, including all of my ATSC 3 channels, which, as you can see, are pretty much residing on RF channel 33 there on the list. And one of the things that I noticed in comparing it to my HDhomerun is that the HDhomerun picks up many more channels. So the ZapperBox got 45, the HDhomerun was able to find 73. And I wanted to note there WFSB HD at the top. That is the ATSC 1 version of my CBS affiliate. My HDhomerun can tune into that no problem, but the ZapperBox was having a hard time staying on that channel. It was frequently dropping out. So I think the quality of the tuner in the HDhomerun unit, the Flex 4K that I've got up there, is better than what the ZapperBox has, both in the number of channels that it can pick up, but also how well it can stay tuned to some of the weaker channels that you might encounter. But for ATSC 3 in my area, the ZapperBox worked just as well as the HDhomerun did. I didn't have any stutters or breakups, and the signal was very, very consistent. But again, I think the tuner is a little bit better on the HDhomerun box. And I do want to mention, in the interest of full disclosure, that Silicon Dust, the makers of the HDhomerun, are an occasional sponsor here on the channel. So I just wanted to make that clear. But the numbers here, I think, speak for themselves. Same plug, same antenna, same exact port on that antenna, and a very big difference in what these two boxes could pick up. Now, some of the issues people are running into with ATSC 3 broadcasts involve the Dolby AC4 audio format that is often not compatible with a lot of TVs out there. What's nice is that the ZapperBox is able to do all the audio down mixing in hardware, so no matter what you encounter, you'll be able to play it back. By default, it will be set to down mix, but if you're certain that your TV can support the AC4 audio standard, you can set it to pass through. But either way, lip syncing was fine. Everything sounded just fine to me. So it was nice to see the box here again adding some simplicity to some of the complexities involving ATSC 3 broadcasts at the moment. Now, another complexity of ATSC 3 is that many broadcasters are encrypting their content with DRM. Right now, the ZapperBox will not decrypt that content. They do say, though, it will in the future. In fact, their lab in Tampa is successfully decrypting the DRM, but there's an approval process that they have to go through before every box can do it. So it will get it in the future, provided you keep the box plugged into the internet so you can get the firmware update. But right now, it does not work. So this is not a quick fix to a DRM encrypted channel. Now, as I mentioned at the outset, the box will have an internal DVR feature available in the near future, but not right now. They said the firmware update enabling that will likely come by the end of this month, June of 2023. I did ask them, because it was so close to the release date, if they had a beta we could try for this review, and they did not want to provide that to me. So I'll come back and give you a full update on the box with the DVR functionality once that's available. The initial release is going to be rather limited, though, so it's going to allow you to schedule recordings, but it won't do recurring recordings, nor could you set it up to do like a season pass where it only records new stuff. So you'll have to manually set every recording initially, and then a further release will enable some of the features that you've grown accustomed to on a modern DVR. So it'll be very limited. There's also an annual fee for the DVR service. It's going to cost $30 a year. That, by the way, is not unreasonable, because there is a cost to ZapperBox for the channel guide data that allows you to find things to record. So you will pay that fee annually when you have that feature activated, and they're going to support 2 boxes per address with that fee. Beyond that, you'll have to subscribe with another subscription to get more into the mix there. So just be aware of that. There will be a fee, and the DVR you're going to get a little later this month is not fully feature complete. Now, to their credit, they have some very good information on their website as to when new features should be expected and what's in the pipeline. So one thing that will come out a little later on the DVR is the ability to do manual timed recordings without having to pay the annual fee. Additionally, they're going to have support for some of the interactive features of ATSC 3. They'll support in-home streaming from one ZapperBox to another, but also to apps running on phones and Roku devices and that sort of thing. But right now, again, pretty limited. I would say it's definitely the minimally viable product. So if you had a need for just getting ATSC 3 content to a single television and DVR functionality wasn't all that important to you at the moment, I think the ZapperBox is going to be fine. It's really easy to set up. I think it's very simple for somebody that just wants to watch TV with a remote that they can click around on. This will do it. And I think in many markets, the ATSC 3 channels come in much better than the other ATSC 1 broadcasts do, like where I live. So as I mentioned, here in Connecticut, all of the ATSC 3 channels are on a single RF frequency. It is super easy to tune to those channels and get everything in one spot. So if you have a relative who's looking to cut the cord, they're maybe in a small apartment with a single TV, get them a ZapperBox. They can flip through the channels like they do now and have a very good experience with free over-the-air television. So there is a use case for this. I would say definitely not for the enthusiasts at the moment. I'm going to hang on to this, though, because I think as more of these features roll out, it might be more competitive for people looking for more features. So we'll be back again, no doubt, with the ZapperBox in the near future. That's going to do it for now. Until next time, this is Lon.TV. Thanks for watching.
This channel is brought to you by the Lon.TV supporters, including gold level supporters Brian Parker, Chris Allegretta, Hot Sauce and Video Games, Logic KGR, Tom Albrecht, and Amda Brown. If you want to help the channel, you can by contributing as little as $1 a month. Head over to lon.tv/support to learn more. And don't forget to subscribe. Visit Lon.TV/S.